Blog Talk Radio.
Hello, Blog Talk Radio. This is Michael Edley, Psychic Medium, coming to you live for Two Psychics.
Hello, this is Mary Amy coming to you live for Two Psychics. I'm an intuitive wisdom coach, and I hope you join us on Thursdays at 8 p.m. Bye.
Bye-bye. Good evening and welcome to Two Psychics. This is Michael Edley, Psychic Medium, coming to you live from the Jersey Shore on this little bit of a cool, rainy evening. And how are you, Mary Amy, my fantastic co-host?
Hi, Michael. I am an intuitive wisdom coach, and I'm doing wonderful. I was a little tired, but I am rallying for tonight because I was at the gym this morning at 5:45. Woohoo!
Woo, man, aren't you motivated? Oh, but, you know, I was up early this morning, too, and I had a couple things, and I think I had to let my dog out or something to that effect, and I can't lie, I went back to bed. But I'm dragging a little bit today. I don't know what it is. I'm drinking some coffee, so if I sound a little tired, hopefully in the next couple minutes I'll have my coffee finished and I'll be pepped and ready to go.
In 2 days, we have a full moon, and that always affects me, and I know that it kind of brings up different moods in people. They might feel more tired and kind of a little bit out of whack, and it's almost like I get depleted right before a full moon, and then I'm saying to myself, is Mercury in retrograde? What is going on right now? Oh no, it's a full moon. That's why. So yeah, everyone be prepared for that.
Yeah, and I think that's what happens too. That's something we need to be aware of, is our natural shift in energy and our vibrational state. Because going into this type of cycle, I just think naturally you'll find your body's natural state of vibration is going to raise. It's going to naturally go into a more elevated state. So that can be a little draining if you're not used to that. And the cool thing is, if anyone has not noticed, today is a very cool day in numerology, 222, February 22nd. So an interesting thing about this day going into that 222 cycle, they say this is a new opening for beginnings, a new start. If there's anything exciting or interesting that you've been putting off, a project, a piece of artwork, writing a piece of music, whatever that may be, now is a good cycle to start going into those energy rifts that create, that's the creative consciousness that's starting right now. And you need to look at those small sparks of imagination. If it's something you dreamt, if it's a side hustle that you've been thinking about, and, you have just these sparks of imagination coming to you, this 222 cycle is a great opening, a great beginning to start those projects or, start that new adventure.
It's a portal to another dimension, another realm, another part of you. And there are so many aspects of you that you have not even touched on. It's just the tip of the iceberg, because you do not even know how capable you are. You have so many superpowers within you. In fact, this last week, I was doing so much listening to these light language activations and DNA activations, and that is what our subjects are tonight. And can I share with everyone what we're up to tonight, Michael?
Oh yeah, let's hear it.
Okay, so tonight is Two Psychics, Episode 6, and we are delving into humanity's awakening and your personal experience and journey awakening and DNA activations. Exactly what is that? We are going to learn about awakening and connecting to your higher self through exercises. I'm going to take you through a healing visualization, and Michael is going to be sharing with us his insight, and we are going to be accepting multiple call-ins for psychic reading. So anyone out there who's interested in getting a reading tonight, I know I already have a bunch holding, and I appreciate, you having patience, and I don't know what's on the other end of holding, but I hope you are hearing this show. And we're excited because we are really here. This is our mission, at least it's mine. And I know Michael shared with me that it's his as well. It's really to kind of bring up all the goodness that we have within us and the joy and the love that's in our hearts, and we're all together, climbing out of this 3-dimensional simulation, and we are headed into the 5th dimension.
Get that consciousness going.
I know. So, do you have anything to add? And if we're good, I'll just get on to what awakening is, and then we'll, hear some advice, and we'll get on to some callers.
Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit about DNA activation. I guess I could just touch on, or unless you want to go into it, and then I can just give a couple of tidbits of my information, of my perspective on it.
Absolutely, no worries. Yeah, so what exactly is an awakening? Well, we know when we're asleep and we wake up, we're awakening to the next morning or the next day. And so an awakening is a new state of consciousness, and it feels like you're waking up from sleep. And it's really an eye-opening to your senses. And humanity is awakening at this very moment. More light is coming onto the earth. A lot of the darkness and negativity is leaving. It cannot stand the brightness of all of humanity awakening. You are gaining a higher consciousness, a higher awareness. You're aware of something. Now, a spiritual awakening is a true sense of understanding about yourself and the world. What am I here for, and who am I? So this is a surreal experience of higher state of consciousness, and it's an activation of your inner self. And maybe a major life event brings this on. It could be a love interest, a yearning for spiritual beings, something touched you, God's source. Maybe you're praying, or it could be a near-death experience. It could be spontaneous. You could ask for it to happen. Now, there's awakening symptoms, and there is a knowing and a lasting effect. You have more of a knowing and awareness. And some of the possibilities are you realize that we are all connected to others and nature. And you begin to connect deeply with beliefs. Your sleeping dreams change your perspective. You begin to have validation that you are in the right place. New relationships will begin to transform you, and you will need and want more of a spiritual existence. You will adapt intuitive abilities such as sensing and intuition, which is what we discuss here. We like to delve deeply into intuitive abilities and psychic phenomenon. And you will begin to realize your authenticity and discard false individuals. In other words, you will realize from the get-go if someone's being honest and genuine. You are going to begin to notice that everyone is on their own personal journey. You begin to focus on a mission and service to others. And you might even possibly, a symptom might be that you have more of a sensitivity to food, and your sleeping patterns might change. Now, you will begin to gain more of a personality that was deeply, deeply within inside of you. And that's part of awakening. Now, let me just explain what is a DNA activation for those of you out there who have not heard this terminology. It's about reprogramming yourself, and you unblock your truth potential. It's known as your junk DNA, and it becomes your superpower. This DNA activation is the process of evolving and developing consciousness like the stored dormant DNA segments. And these are secret codes within your DNA blueprint. And you begin to raise your vibration, your frequencies are raised, and intentionally it activates your DNA. So let me share with you, how are you going to go about doing this activation? Well, you can activate through certain tones, vowel sequences, meditative states, chanting, singing bowls, drumming, and all of this will communicate to your DNA. A gene expression will create an altered consciousness. It sounds kind of revolutionary, and it probably is. This is going to change your life and benefit your consciousness, physical and emotional well-being. You will be, listeners, you will be stronger, more creative. Your immune system will be tippy-top, wonderful, and you will find your psychic abilities. All right, before I move on, I'm just going to explain a little bit more, so please bear with me. Now, there's what's called a Kundalini awakening. And I've spoken about how you put all your weight in your bottom at the base of your spine, and that is when you have a Kundalini awakening. The energy charges your spine, and you focus all your power at the base of your spine, and it shoots up through your crown and down into the new earth Gaia. How is this going to happen? Here's some more little tidbits. Maybe you can meditate, listen to binaural beats, positive affirmations. You can journal your feelings and thoughts. Here's some indications and signs that you are activated. You're going to have some waves of emotion, some vivid dreams, some lucid dreams, visions of other dimensions and spiritual beings. Again, you will have sensitivity, and maybe your sleep schedule will shift. There will be some life-altering events that are going to happen to you, and you might very well have premonitions. So all of this activation that I'm referring to will awaken your mind and give you a deeper understanding of yourself. A new personality will emerge, and you will be void of toxic patterns. You will feel more complete, stronger, healthier, and more and more you will feel as though there's nothing missing. You'll have self-acceptance, self-love, and there will be a coming together of self. This soul awakening gives a divine awareness to life purpose and transformation to all the positive qualities such as compassion, love, and forgiveness. So this Kundalini energy, if you have an awakening through a Kundalini event, will raise up through your 7 chakras and lead you to expanded consciousness. Okay, so there we are.
Ooh, wow, that was a lot of info. That was good. You did an amazing job summing that up.
What?
That was a lot of information, and I was like, oh, that's going to be a lot of information to squeeze in there, but you did a really good job with that. No, it is interesting. When you think about that, though, think about this. For the DNA activation, throughout time, and, you spoke about sound and vocalizing in certain tones. I mean, if we go back to the earliest chanting, the earliest incantation of some type of mantra, we look at like the Gregorian chant. We even looking at like early, I would say even like the early church, and thinking of the chanting and the sounds and the tones, there's definitely been, this availability, I would say all throughout human history and probably even predating human history. But this is something that's definitely been taken away. I think it's something that, whether this has been purposeful or not, it's definitely something that humans had tuned into for quite some time and knew a lot about this, knew a lot about sound healing, knew a lot about channeling this energy of sound into our body. And they obviously used it for many different things. And if you think about our DNA, you think about that double helix strand, and even modern science today even only says what is like 3 to 5% of what they could see as useful DNA in there. And like what you were talking about, they're saying, roughly 85 to 95% potentially of our DNA is junk DNA. I just don't see how that's possible. On a deep intuitive level, as a psychic medium, I know intuitively that that's not junk DNA. I could tell you. I mean, I've had things come to me in deep meditations. I've read about other people's experiences. There's absolutely something there that is inactive. And I think as a medium or a psychic or an energy healer, we are tapping into that. And there's many different aspects to this. This isn't one, straight line. It's a multifaceted perspective that we have to look at over this DNA activation. And science today, I think, is coming to a point where they're understanding there's a spirit. They're saying the spirituality of DNA activation can open up this dormant area of that double helix, and amazing energy healing can come from that. I mean, it's just like, if you look at the list of things they're saying now, and they're actually talking about this from, I would say, even a more scientific perspective. They're looking at this as, just the basics of reduced stress and anxiety, clearer mind, clearer functioning, more restorative sleep. Let me go through. I actually have a little bit of a list here. They're talking about, releasing unconscious expectations, releasing untapped creative expression, dormant creative talents, healing processes in the physical body, increased intuitive abilities, clairvoyant gifts, chakra energy expansion, third eye awakening. So a number of different things. And they're saying that these awakenings and basically fine-tuning these other new perspectives of energy in the body can transcend through all different areas. And, that's what we need to start looking at. How can we utilize these untapped areas of the body, these untapped cycles of energy, these untapped frequencies, and how can we tune into this, and how can this help us heal, expand our awareness, and, that whole gambit of things that can come from this. It truly is an amazing thing. And anyone that says, well, that's just junk DNA, and that can't be for anything, well, I just think either that person is either one of two things. Either they know, wow, there's really something crazy there, and either they're fearful or they're aware of it and don't want other people to be able to utilize that, or
bingo,
but I mean, it's just there's absolutely something there, and I hope we can bring up a lot of cool things about that tonight.
I believe so, what you just said, because it's more than 85%. I think they said 95 or 99% is junk DNA, which is a ridiculous statement. And they very well know that nothing within us is junk. And I sense that when we activate all of ourselves, which is all of the possibilities, and forever I heard, we're only using and utilizing so-and-so percentage of our brain. I believe that we at some point can utilize all of our brain as soon as we activate our DNA blueprint. And I really was excited about making this a subject tonight and this a topic, because I know you have awareness. I know you're coming from a place you understand. You're on the same page I am. And really, I'm just trying to say, it's not that complicated to do this. It really isn't. It's like whether or not you're interested in kind of transforming yourself and touching on the best parts of you, bringing yourself all together. And when you awaken, you're going to bring friends into your life. Out of nowhere they will come, because you are going to raise your vibration when you awaken. And when you awaken, you have more self-love and more forgiveness and your service to others. And as you do that, you become someone that it's almost like you're beaming light out of your soul, out of your spirit. And people are attracted to that, and they come to you. And ones that are carrying the same vibrational frequency will say, oh my gosh, hello, and you'll have instant friends, and they are good people, let me tell you. And I know that I have that with you, Michael, and as I've activated more of myself through simply just meditating, practicing psychic phenomenon, it's what you're listening to, the hertz, it's, maybe it's the singing bowls, try something, or maybe you're just asking for it, praying for it, or listening to shows like we have. I'm not saying we are the experts on this. I'm just throwing it out there like, hey, hello. We're over here. Come over here and join us in this beautiful place that we are in.
Yeah, and I think that's what it comes down to is there's multiple paths to DNA activations. And I think to even simplify this, it's truly like manifesting your full potential, whatever your body's full potential in the mind, the body, and the spirit. Those three aspects of the body, and how can you raise each aspect of those three perspectives to their highest state. And I would say, like what you were just talking about, raising your vibration, I mean, that's a fundamental aspect of all of those, and that's what we have to look at when we start to raise our vibration, when we start to elevate our own existence. Things become clear, our vision of where we want to go, where we're heading, the type of life we want to have, the type of things we're willing to tolerate, the type of things we're not willing to tolerate. What does, a good, passionate life look like in our eyes? And this could be completely different for two people, and when we sit and we look at our own path and we clarify these things, we could truly expand that, and then we can, raise our, we can get the right beliefs in place. We can get the right habits in place. We can start to gain the right knowledge, the right skills, strategies, so there's all these different aspects of raising your vibration that people don't even think about. That's just going to trickle down into all aspects of your body. And what you find is you're basically tweaking your thoughts, your actions, your habits, and all these small steps over time are going to build, and this just manifests. And what happens is, people say, "Oh, the law of attraction." Is there anything to that? Did you watch the movie The Secret? What do you think about that? And I get asked that question all the time as a psychic medium, and I say, well, there absolutely is something to it. The law of attraction is absolutely true. Manifesting is absolutely true. Getting into a vibrational state of where you want to be and what you want to manifest is imperative, but it's not just a cut and dry thing of, thinking about it and having good thoughts. I mean, there's multiple process, of having the belief system, the habits, the actions, so it's not just one thing. And this is the same thing as far as DNA activation. There's not one simple road, one simple path to this. For some people, it's going to be the sound, the sound and energy healing, and that's just going to trigger something, And for an artist, whether it's a painter or a musician composing, a poet, even a builder, an architect, when that trigger goes off, this expanded awareness comes in, and you truly know that's when the special sweet spot, that's when you've hit it, and that's when things that are beyond you, that transcend through you, will start to happen. And it's almost as if you're a third party in this, in this beautiful process that's occurring, through you. And that's really the easiest way to explain it. But there is no cut and dry way to that path and to raising your vibration and your DNA. There's multiple aspects. And I think that's what I love about what we're trying to do. We're trying to bring a lot of these different aspects to our listeners, to all you guys out there, all you guys and gals out there. We want to empower you to be able to utilize these processes and procedures into your life so you can implement these things and truly see how magnificent you can create and how magnificent, you can clarify your vision, and these goals can start to happen and your belief systems can change, and this just can manifest into a really spectacular thing. So that's what I love about this, and I love about what we're doing is we're putting the tools in the toolbox,
I have so much gratitude for this, and it just came to me, and I said, maybe you and I can both share in a nutshell how we became activated or how we became awakened and what exactly that is to you.
Yeah, I mean, do you want to? Yeah, absolutely. That's a great. I think that's a great perspective.
Because it's personal, and like you just said, none of us are going to have the same experience, but we kind of end up in the same place, which is interesting.
Yeah, and I think we have to go through our own trials and tribulations, and sometimes we have to go through our own. They call it the dark night of the soul, or there's these different perspectives that each and every one of us needs to go through. There's a certain road we have to travel to become who we need to be. And that's part of the process. So this isn't all cut and dry. This isn't all love and light. There is some, highs and lows. There's ebb and flow to this. And part of the beauty in this is understanding that there's learning lessons and there's magnificence in the highs and the lows. We just have to, kind of tune into it, and we can't allow the emotions to overtake us. We have to harness the emotions, and by doing this work of raising our vibration, trying to activate, that inactive DNA, whatever this may be, all these things are going to compound into positive aspects in our life, and that will just trickle from us into those around us, and I think that's how it starts. There is not one cut and dry way, and we have to be open, and that one thing, the way to look at this too, so being a musician, I'm going to say, think about this. If anyone, for my musician friends out there that are listening, or anyone that's ever played an instrument, think about this. You can think about a guitar. Think about, expanding your energy, your vibration, your awareness. You want to go from this 3D consciousness to this 5D consciousness. It's a process. And if I was to say to you, think about a guitar. You can think about a guitar. Now, how many aspects? If I just said guitar, some person out there may think of an electric guitar. Some person may think of an acoustic guitar. Then you may think about different styles, classical, rock and roll, heavy metal, pop, jazz. There's so many different perspectives and different aspects to it. It's the same thing with understanding this energy and this vibration and working, in this world of energy, frequency, and it's just and spirit. It's really what should I say? It's complex in some ways, but it's very simple in others. And if we can just start and get a proper foundation and just understand some of the basics, then we just let our path unfold, and that's, I don't want to complicate it, but I just want everyone to know everyone's journey is personal. So I'm going to talk a little bit about my journey. So being a medium from a very young age, experiencing these things, and, I'm dating myself a little bit, but I'm going back, I was born in the 70s. And at that point in time, there really wasn't anything out there about psychic mediumship. I mean, there was, but it wasn't mainstream like there is today. I'm just very fortunate that I had a family that didn't lock me up or think I was crazy, or, they had aspects of spirituality and aspects of religion blended. So I guess there was no difference between me speaking to some spirit that's passed and, my grandmother praying to dear St. Anthony that she lost her keys and now she found them. There really, there was no difference. So I was blessed in that sense. But I could tell you, my awakening really happened when I found music. I found an outlet. I didn't really understand meditating, even though, as a child, I would go into these dreamlike states, and I would just understand, even my own experiences. And I know, like you, Mary Amy, and I know you've had, your own near-death experiences that have completely shifted your consciousness and your awareness. I had a similar experience when I was 8 years old. I also had a near-death experience, and I truly felt the overwhelming love and light of, I'm going to call, God, source, angels. I don't know exactly what it was, but the stereotypical, you're wrapped in golden white light and you feel this protection and this safety, and it's not your time to go. I had that experience. And from having that experience, I knew there was something else. I just knew that, wasn't sure what it was, but this physical spacesuit that I was in wasn't all of it. And I knew there was something more. And when I got into art, I started drawing a lot, and I started finding that I could tap into this consciousness or this divine presence that would just take me into this space, in this other world that I would just put on paper and create it. And I would lose myself in this for a period of time. And then I found that shifting even more when I found, music, and I found being a musician and writing and creating. So I think for me, a big shift in this, and what I would say is my own activation and my own awareness, was shifting from that everything is cut and dry and, all we can see in this physical is what there is, to knowing and experiencing that there was something more, and then seeing my own physical body get caught up in the expansion of my consciousness in art and music. And it would take me to different places where I would come out of almost like a trance-like state, and I would have no idea what I created, and I would just look and see the most beautiful, landscape or crazy fantasy drawing. And the same thing with music. I'm going to date myself a little now too, as the cassette player. I would have a cassette player, put it on record. Those of you that don't know, that are a little too young, there's a little box with batteries in it, and there were these things called cassettes, and you would pop them in, and you could play music on them, or you could record things. And that's what I would do. That's how I would actually write songs early on. I'd have a guitar or, whatever it was, and I'd record. And sometimes I would go into a trance-like state, and it would just bring me to some other place. And when I was in this other place, there was nothing else like it. And any kind of concern, worry, whatever could be going on in my head at that point in time, it was gone. I was in another world. And from the experiences I had, and then to open up that awareness, that was what I would say was the beginning of my journey, and that's really where a lot of it started. I had very spiritual experiences, and on top of that, it became very personal. So how about you, Marion? What was your awakening?
Well, I have to say that you just mentioned my near-death experiences, and I think that I was at such a young age when I had my first one. I had two of them. My first I was around 2.5, and the second one was when I was 6. And I was greeted by, I believe, angels, and it wasn't my time. And it was kind of a shroud over me after that, because I always thought, why am I still alive? And I questioned my mortality at such a young age. And I was empathic, and I immediately, when I would meet someone, I knew exactly who they were, their personality. But because I was empathic, I was gathering everyone's energies and moods, and I absorbed them. And I was, for the most part, someone who was just gleeful when I woke up. But then when you're around people that might have some kind of darkness or negativity, it's kind of latching onto you. I spent a lot of time after that, as I was growing up, looking, searching for something. And I really didn't understand what I was searching for. And then I became involved with some energy healers, and I actually was more or less awakened in 2013. And I had this one very powerful energy healer, Mujin Choi, and I just was around him. And it's funny because I found that in my lifetime, when I am around a certain individual that I guess has a strong presence and an energy, I usually soak them up like a sponge. Like, they start to change me and I morph into another version of me. And so as time went on, I just started to learn all about what I had within me. And, I learned about putting light around me, because in a crowd, it's just very worrisome, and I get stressed out because of everyone's energy. And then I started becoming activated as time went on through sound healing, other psychics like you, and anyone who is kind of a starseed or someone who is a light worker. I started, just words kind of activated me. And now it's like I almost intentionally am around that, because I know it changes me. And I just want to let everyone out there know that maybe at first, when you're listening to kind of the subject matter that we are discussing, or individuals that are focused on all of these different energy, frequency, vibration topics, at first it might not seem like you're changing or altering, but it's like baby steps. All of a sudden, one day you turn a corner and there's a different version of you, and it's a better version of you. That's my story.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It really is something that, I think we talk a lot about, small steps. Your growth doesn't have to happen overnight, and it is a process, and that's what everyone needs to embrace, the process. And truly, it's in the process where the real beautiful aspects of this occur and where they unfold. That's what I think a lot of people miss. The learning process is truly where we find ourselves. We find our soul's calling. We can really figure out what it is to be alive. That's really what I think this is about. How can we be our best self? How can we make those around us better? How can we make this world a better place? And that's where it all starts. This is where it all starts.
One more thing I'd just like to add before we get on. You can tell us about your services, and then we'll move on to getting some of these callers. I know that spending time in nature alone and turning off technology really helps with this.
But not our radio show. Bring that with you.
What is it?
But not our radio show. They can bring our radio show along. just temporarily turn the phone off.
You're so funny. No, not the radio show. I wasn't catching what you were saying. Okay, right. Not the radio show. No, after the radio show's over. Like I always say, these are some psychic phenomenon exercises, and you can do them on your own, and you turn off technology. But for the most part, you have to be guided by someone. Okay, so let's get on to Michael tells us some of his services and any upcoming events and his contact info.
Yes, so your best place to find all my upcoming events. I do have a few coming up where I have some spaces available for mini reading. We have some Reiki and reading events coming up. They're all on my Eye of the Spirits with Michael Edley Facebook page. or you can go to my michaeledley.com website, and that will give you links to my Facebook page, or you can message me. But I do offer private readings. I do offer message circles, group readings, galleries. I'm going to have various workshops and various classes coming up. But best place to find me is Eye of the Spirits with Michael Edley on Facebook and michaeledley.com.
Any upcoming events, Michael?
I do. I don't have them all in front of me, so that I should have them in front of me. But let's see. So we have Reiki and Readings event coming up at the B2 Bistro in Bayville, which is always a good one. It's a new place for us. It's a great night. It starts out with, you get a Reiki energy healing session. It's a little bit of an open session for everyone to kind of understand what we're doing, what this energy work is. So you get a mini energy healing Reiki energy healing session, and then you get a mini reading, and it's just a great night, great energy. We're right on the water. So I believe that's coming up. Let's see, what is that? Mid-March. Let's see, what else do I have coming up? Well, a lot of music stuff. So I'm going to be singing a lot this weekend. I have some musical events coming up. Those of you that don't know, I'm also a musician, so I play. So if my voice sounds raspy on certain nights, don't mind me. I might have been singing a lot the night before rehearsing. But yeah, so the best bet, if you're in the Jersey area or you wanted to come in, go onto my Facebook page and check out Eye of the Spirits with Michael Edley. I'll have all my current events that are coming up that are not sold out. They'll be pinned to the top. You can click on the link there, and it'll definitely lead you to a ticket page, and you can get the ticket. And I'd love to see some of you out there. It's a great way to start to see what I do firsthand live and get a mini reading from me. It's a 15-minute reading, and I can kind of show you what I do. And that's, sometimes the easiest way to see if this is something that you feel can help you, from a perspective of connecting to a loved one or, a psychic reading, anything around that, reach out to me on my page, and I'd be glad to talk to you about it.
Fantastic. Well, I am going to share that I truly believe that your sleeping dreams are vital to guide you. And I had made up a dream journal. It's my dream journal, a personal diary of symbol, signs, and messages to guide me. And there is room in there for 100 entries. And there's an understanding within the book that you will learn all about what dream work is and how to heal yourself through dreams. And I just wanted to mention about dream healing. I don't know if anyone's aware that you literally can heal in your dreams. A dream journal will help you to have lucid dreams and enhance awareness. So what exactly is lucid dreaming? Sometimes when you become activated and awaken, you will have these lucid dreams. So a lucid dream is you're conscious of the dream when you're in the dream, and it feels as though it's vivid and real. Now, you can test yourself during a lucid dream. And how do you test yourself? Look in the mirror during the sleeping dream. Push up against solid objects. Check a clock, which will change time constantly. Maybe pinch your nose to see if you're breathing. So some benefits of lucid dreaming will help with depression, post-traumatic stress disorder, and substance use. Now, if you want to find me, I'm on social media. You can also see me do lives on YouTube under Mary Amy Official. This past week I did a live. It was pretty fun. I hadn't done one in a while. I love it. And then also on Roku, there's a channel called Awaken, and I'm under Spark Light. Okay, so would you like to do a reading right now, and then I will do a healing, and we'll kind of break it up a little bit? What do you think?
Yeah, I think we have a few people waiting. We can bring someone on if they have a question for us.
Sure. Okay, so I have someone holding right now. Let's see. Hold on. Here we go. Hi, who's this?
Hi, this is Donna. How are you?
Hi, Donna. This is Michael and Mary.
Hey, Donna. How are you?
Hi. Good. There was another girl online, Suzanne, who I have heard from before. And we didn't know which, because we didn't hear you. We didn't know if we had it right. So I told her to go to switch on to your other show, but then I don't know if she let this one go or not, and then I remembered, oh, no, you have to wait. So, oh, God.
Well, that's all right. See, you're talking to us, so you're meant to be here with us. So,
Donna, you know what's her area code? Because I'll see if I can find her.
I don't
what's her area?
know. I don't know, but it would be.
Okay, well, I'll see if I can find her.
Oh, that'd be wonderful. Okay, thank you.
So, Donna, what question did you have for us tonight?
Well, I wanted to know if my finances were going to get better through a windfall or something like that. I've always been very lucky, and I just feel something's coming. I really do. So, yeah, because I live on a fixed income, and I kind of depend on luck and raffles and things like that, which I've won quite a few.
See, let me just give me just so we have an energy connection. Can you just say your first name again, just slowly, one time for me?
Yes, my name is Donna.
Donna, okay. Interesting, Donna. So, I'm going to read your energy field a little bit, if that's okay with you. We're just going to kind of get into what just comes to me, what I'm sensing just around you, and we'll see, if that can lead us to whatever we can get into financially or what's happening financially around you.
Oh, right.
Now, for some reason, 18 is the number 18. So I'm just curious. The 18th, to me, that could be the 18th of a month. The 18th of going into March. This could also be a January and an August for the 1 and the 8. I'm just curious. Is there significance to the number 18 around you, or the month of January and August as significant dates?
No, I can't think of anything.
Okay, so the 18th, the 18th in itself isn't like a birthday. It's not a date of an anniversary, someone passing. Because you got to understand, I'm sometimes with me, you're on the phone with a medium, so I could be getting some stuff from the spirit realm around you too. If there's someone that the 18th was a recent date or a passing, but if it wasn't,
lost my nephew.
Yeah. So if you don't know, that's fine. But so the 18th is coming through very prominently around you. So if it's not, see, this is why I like to know, is it a significant date around you? Because in your energy field, I could be reading or connecting to someone that's giving me the 18th as a sign from them to you, a deceased mom, a grandmother, a sibling. But the 18th is coming through. If it's not coming through from a love, because right now I'm not in like full mediumship mode, so I'm just kind of reading your energy field. So the 18th is coming through very prominently. So I would just say be aware of that number, be aware of the 1-8, but we could also be looking at, so January and August. There could be a cycle that you're going into from what we're just, this January through August of 24. So what I would say is me seeing this at like the 18 as an energy cycle, if you can't take that as a significant date, anniversary, birthday of someone around you, someone I would say from the spirit realm, then I would say I'm picking up on a significant number. And when I see a number like this, usually I get this as like an opportunity. So I see this as there's potential opportunities that could be coming up, and they could be around the 18th. The 18th of a month could be a good cycle. That could be the good energy cycle that you're going into. I don't think I'm getting, go down to the casino and bet everything on, go to the roulette table and bet everything on 18. That's not what I'm getting. I'm getting this more as a positive number for you, but I could also be reading this as the January into the August energy cycle. So I don't know if there was opportunity for, like a lot of times when I'm seeing this, an opportunity for a creative endeavor to turn into some type of side hustle, small business venture, some aspect that could lead to some kind of prosperity. Now, is there anything like that going on in your life? Is there a creative endeavor, a crafting, a side business hustle, something like that you could turn into some kind of profitable small business?
Well, I probably could do more house sitting. When people go away, you watch their dogs and cats.
Okay.
I have one person that I do this for. She pays me very well, though. But, yeah, maybe
Yeah,
that.
and that's a great thing. I mean, everybody's pets are like their children. So I know mine are, and I would definitely worth it. So that may be something that, because when I start seeing numbers like this and I start seeing cycles like this, January to August or the 18th, it definitely shows me an untapped avenue of prosperity around you that would correlate to a side hustle, a small business venture. And that, I would say that's it. Definitely something working with the animals, pet sitting. I don't know on what scale you're doing this, but maybe look into taking the next step and maybe expanding it, maybe expand the area or the amount of days or something to that effect. But I see a lot of positivity around that. And asking me about your finances and the stability about finances, that's what I see around this. I see some type of small business prospect that you're not fully tapping into that could be very prosperous for you. So that's what I see around this energy cycle. So I think I don't know whether there's a fear of maybe taking that next step or making it bigger, like you're apprehensive. So maybe a little bit of fear around that growth. But that's what I see. I think you have to kind of step out of your comfort zone. And you have to look at these perspectives of a small business venture, and it does seem like it ties into, your pet sitting, pets, animal care, and look at how prosperous you can make that. Because it seems like it's something that elevates your energy. You seem very hyped up. Even your voice when you're telling me about that, it seems like you like this. So you must have a very good connection with the animals, and that
I do.
uplift you, that unconditional love. That I think that's why we all, love that animal connection, and it's something very special. But that's what I'm getting around that. What about you, Mary Amy?
Okay, so what I'm receiving, Donna, is that I had a visual of a really turbulent, I guess you could say it was a body of water. I want to say it was probably the ocean, and it was very much rocking you around. And I sense that you should slow down. And I'm not even receiving anything related to money. I'm receiving something about a romantic relationship that should be invested in. What?
Oh, okay. I'm not in a relationship, and I would like to meet someone. So,
I'm receiving. There's a romantic relationship coming, and it's going to be strong. And to invest your time and energy in the romantic relationship.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
And if it happens on the 18th, you have to let us know. You have to call back and say, that was the 18th.
I will.
So slow down, because you're right now, you're this very turbulent waves and waters going on. So just slow down, and you're going to invest in a romantic relationship.
Oh, wonderful. Oh, I like that.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we can go. And Oh, tell me, did you find Suzanne?
No, I went through and I spoke to a few. No, I didn't. It's difficult because I don't even know her number here, and there's quite a few people holding.
She'll call you another time then. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So hopefully, Suzanne, if you're out there, hopefully you're listening in, and we appreciate you holding. Unfortunately, we hope you're listening because we don't have you on the line.
Yeah,
Donna,
you know what? I'm so grateful for anyone who's tuning in and listening and joining us here tonight. And I'm just excited. I'm excited for just everyone here, just a really sweet, good people. And thank you.
That's sweet.
Oh.
Well, thank you to both of you. Thank you very much.
Have
a wonderful evening, Donna. Be well.
Thanks. Okay.
And let us know about if that 18 unfolds somewhere.
Yeah,
I will.
Yes.
Definitely. I'll let you know.
You definitely let us know,
you.
Donna. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
You know what? I have to remind everyone and ask them to follow us, and that's how we'll get lifted up on this channel. And so I did. I did. Okay, you say. You tell
No, I was gonna say, tell your friends, tell your family, tell anyone you know. Listen to Two Psychics on Blog Talk Radio. We appreciate the support, but we need to keep growing this channel. We need more support, more listeners, and we just hope that everyone tunes in and appreciates what we're doing, but we really appreciate all of you for listening and being here from the beginning with us.
Thank you so much. We do have some upcoming guests, and I'm going to mention that now and later on. In March, we have Flat Earth Dave, and I think it might be, is it next week or the following week? And then we have Jessica Jones, and she's a cryptid specialist and a remote viewer specialist.
Okay, it's going to be interesting. We got some stuff. So, what are we? We're like 2 weeks out, I think, into...
I think one is March. I want to say March 7th and March 22nd are the dates of those. Let's see. I'm looking at the calendar. Yeah, March 7th and then March 22nd are the upcoming guests. And then the other weeks we will have callers and, speak about different topics and help everyone to bring more awareness to their psychic abilities. How about if I do my quick visualization, and then we have two individuals holding and more waiting. So let's see how many we can get in tonight.
All right, sounds good.
Okay. All right. So normally what I usually am thinking about, and I have good intentions, and I hope that everyone can, in their own time and space, these are suggestions that I make, focus on doing some kind of visualization. So together, let's do a quick visualization, and then we'll get one of these other callers that are holding on. And I appreciate everyone out there, and I have gratitude for this moment. So let's do this right now. So how does this all begin? Okay, well, we're going to let out a breath, and we're going to get into a comfortable position, and you can choose that, and your eyes can be open or closed, and maybe you're sitting or you're laying down, whatever makes you feel comfortable, and you're going to relax your body. So what I'd like you first to do is I'd like you to ground yourself. And you ground yourself by focusing on the base of your spine, your root chakra, and you're putting all your weight in your bottom. And you're imagining that the base of your spine is shooting down into the earth, as well as your feet, and you might wiggle your toes. And you're letting out a breath, and you are letting go of any tension that's in your physical body, your vessel. And maybe you just lay your head a little bit on your shoulder. And I always say, it's like you feel like you're a rag doll. So you're allowing all of the energy in your being to shoot down your arms, out your fingertips. And again, you're putting your weight in your bottom. And I'm going to remind you to have gratitude for this moment. You're in this moment. And that's how we gain so much, is when we're in the moment. We're not thinking about the future. We're not focused on the past. We're pushing away any doubt. And we're allowing ourselves to just be in this moment and let go and not have any worry. Have some confidence. Push away any doubt. And so as you relax your body, you're focused, you're concentrating, and I'd like you together with me, let's have 3 inhales and exhales. And we're going to do that on a 4 count. Okay, and I'm going to do it with you. So we're going to inhale, hold it, and let it out. Now, hopefully you feel a little bit more relaxed. And so I'd like you to check your body for any tension. And as you do this, I'd like you to bring awareness to your thoughts. And so let's imagine right now that we're inside our brain. And what do you see? You're going to quiet your mind. You're going to focus on some stillness. And I'd like you to realize exactly where your thoughts go. Normally I say let's push away thoughts, but right now let's just acknowledge, what exactly are you thinking about? Where do you automatically go? Now, are these thoughts useful? Are they positive or negative? Our thoughts are very powerful. We have control over our thoughts. Now, do your thoughts circle back to the same thoughts? I'm going to be quiet for a moment and let's just see what you realize. Are you rushing? Are you in the moment? Do you have stress? Because we want to let go of all of that. We want to just be in this moment. We want to create light inside of ourselves and joy and happiness. Our thoughts will create our future, our personality, and our destiny. So let's begin to clear away any negativity that comes through in our thoughts, and let's create a pure spirit. So I'd like you to imagine right now opening up more space in your brain. If you need to let out a breath, if you need to shift your body around, and maybe this isn't easy at the first time, but you're stretching yourself. So I'd like you to imagine it, you're inside your brain and you're visualizing more space within your brain. Now, as you release whatever is inside of you that's negative, you're going to imagine light in its place. And this light is glowing, it's peaceful, it's calming. And maybe you breathe in some fresh air and you breathe out some negative thoughts that you're carrying around. Okay, so now you're more focused on what's going on inside of you. So let's stay in that moment. Let's focus on purity, light, peace, and calmness. Okay, so I'm going to count backwards to 1 and you open your eyes. 3, 2, 1. You there, Michael?
I am. I'm refreshed and rejuvenated.
You never know what I'm going to say, do you?
That's one of the cool things, though. So what you just did, taking us through that basically healing visualization and releasing and expanding the energy, I would say that's probably one of the most beneficial things someone could do. Talking in regard to DNA activations, that's one of the perspectives of it. For people that are listening, they say, we work on clearing any kind of energy blocks or heaviness that we can experience. And as we lift and remove those energy blocks or that heaviness, whether that's in our chakra system, in our aura, that's when we begin to expand the potential. And that's when the spiritual DNA starts to expand, so that's part of it. So that's really cool. I definitely felt my energy moving, it's good for me because I could start to go into that altered awareness a little bit, going through these, these acts. And I'm going to say it's a visualization, but that's also what you were doing was technically an activation. So if someone wanted to experience a DNA activation, you just did. Anybody that's listening.
It's like we don't even realize, because we're not taught this, that we have a field of potential within us. And there are portals. Every day is a portal. Every experience can be a portal. Every belief or thought can be a portal to another experience, dimension, realm. And we can do that while we're awake or while we are asleep. We can do that by accessing, different people, different circumstances. And if you're open to it, so much can happen. And I appreciate you saying what you did, because sometimes I don't know if what I'm saying matters. And I appreciate the validation.
And the interesting thing, too, when someone takes themselves through that type of visualization, if they're in a quiet space and they can walk themselves through it, if you think in regard to trying to feel the energy of your body, like if someone has a concern that there's something going on in part of their body, or they're not feeling right, or they want to try to assess, could there be an ailment, or could there be something, an energy block, or is there something they're picking up on? Exactly how you were leading us through that, where you're basically keeping the thoughts to a minimum, you're allowing that empty space or that open space to expand. That's when we can kind of take that through the body and we can see where we're being drawn to. Is there a certain aspect of our body being highlighted to us? Are we being drawn to the abdominal cavity? Are we being drawn to the heart, to an arm, to, a hand, to the foot? is something coming to us, in that empty space. So from a medium perspective, in that empty space or that space between thoughts, that's where spirit is speaking to us. That's where we're learning to, it's not just that, but the easiest way for me to simplify it is when you're trying to hear on an energetic level, you're almost going to hear that in between your thoughts, in that empty space, that space between our own thoughts. So just know if you're like, I can't hear it, or I'm not connecting, or a lot of times it's because our own chatter is blocking it out, our own thoughts. So we have to understand when we're connecting to this realm of energy, not only will we see things and will we, hear things, but sometimes it'll be a blend. And sometimes we have to, quiet everything down so we have that empty space, and that's where we can start paying attention. And sometimes things will be imprinted in several different ways to us at once. Sometimes there's a knowing, sometimes we'll see it and hear it. There's many different perspectives on how this will occur, and depending on each person's individuality and how they experience it, we'll also have a cause and effect. But that's where it is. The keep the thoughts to a minimum, and it's in that empty space where we can intuitively speak to our body can intuitively speak to us, and where we can also access the spirit realms.
Thank you. That's so insightful. I appreciate it. Okay, so we have a caller holding. Let's bring her on, and then I'm going to investigate some others that are holding as well. Okay, so here we go. Ready?
Let's do it.
Hi,
Hello?
who's this? Hello?
My name is Catherine. I'm calling from New York. How are you?
Hi, Catherine. Nice to meet you.
Hey, Catherine, how you doing?
Nice to meet you, too. Thank you. Good, thank you. How are you both this evening?
Good. So you were calling in from the Big Apple, did you say, from New York?
The Big Apple, yes.
Oh, nice. Okay, excellent. So what question did you have for us tonight?
It's actually a question for my mom, but it involves me too. My mom has an apartment in another country, and she's thinking of selling it to make me happy, really, to buy it in another town in that country that I would like more, so we could go and, maybe spend a few months each year and be together there. So I was wondering if you see her, if that process you see going well for her, if she does it this year or the following year. Just anything you might pick up, I appreciate.
So, again, it's just we're kind of connecting on an energy level. I'm tapping into your energy field. Can you just give me your name one more time, just your first name, slowly?
Sure, Catherine.
It's interesting. So when you say your name, and I'm kind of tapping into your energy field, and I'm expanding on that, overwhelming amounts of like wine vineyards. So I don't know, are you near wine fields, wine vineyards? Is there why I'm getting I'm literally getting overwhelmed with grapes, wine vineyards, wine, groweries, nurseries, gardens. What's the deal with that?
Well, that's really interesting, because my grandparents are the people that gave this property to my mom, and they owned a wine vineyard back in the day.
Now let me ask you this: grandfather, the male energy, he's passed, correct?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I do feel like I'm connecting with his energy. I feel like he's actually coming through and talking about that. Now, I also have two countries. I don't know if these two countries are prominent in the energy field, but I don't know. I'm being drawn to the Mediterranean, to Italy, but I'm also being, for some reason, I'm also being pulled. I think I'm seeing France or some kind of French aspect to this. Where? So tell me about the property. Where am I being drawn to?
So yes, Italy is correct.
Okay.
But it's also always been in my heart to go to France, and I was actually just talking to a friend about going to France as well.
Okay, so that's I appreciate that validation. So yeah, so the property is in Italy, so I'm seeing that.
Yeah.
I do believe your grandfather's energy is coming through now. So let me just ask you. Let me just describe this gentleman that I'm seeing around you. Who's coming to? I don't know if he always wore some type of special. I don't know if there was like a special cap or like a hat or like this. I don't even know. Like it's almost like a beret. I don't know if he was in.
You're
like
killing me right now. You're killing me right now.
And I don't know if I'm getting military ties or a beret to cooking chef. Also connection.
No, he always used to wear a cupola. I have it in my room.
That's what he's showing me. So he's coming through. Now, was there also a scarf that he wore with that? Was there some type of scarf or neck covering or?
Did he wear a scarf, Mommy? Puro sempre. In the winter, he'd wear a scarf as well.
Because I'm seeing him with that hat. How do you say that? What exactly is it called?
A cupola is the Italian word for it. You know, it's like it was popular in the
like
Peaky Blinders too, that kind of thing. I don't know if you saw that. And
I know what you're talking about. So I appreciate it because that's how he's coming through. And he was very. So I don't know if he's showing me towards the end or like younger, but I'm seeing like very prominent cheekbones with him, and I don't. He's like very like I don't know. I see him with a very chiseled face.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's how he's coming through. But
Wow.
I mean, there's just a lot of love, a lot of energy for that. Now, mom is with you, is that correct?
I'm sorry?
Now, your mother is with you in the same room?
Yes.
Now, this is her father, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's the connection. So there's also the connect. So I believe. So somehow I'm getting a G, and I don't believe this is grandfather's initial. It potentially could be, but I think he's giving me a G in regard to sale of property or around transactions, real estate. I'm not sure what the significance is, but can you take that G?
Yes. Should I tell you what it is?
Yeah, because I'm getting it as like a.
That's my father's initial.
Oh, okay. So that's your father's initial. Okay, the G. All right, so he's just giving me bits and pieces of evidence to acknowledge that he's here and he's with you. So let's do this. We're going to take a little bit of a different approach to this. We're going to actually ask him what he feels around this in the sale of the property. So,
thank you.
So ask get me as specific and as detailed as you can in the question that you want to know, and I'll see what information we can pull from your loved ones around you.
Thank you. I so appreciate it. Yeah. So my mother likes the town where the property is. Like she would keep it if it was up to her. For me, for some reason, my energy just does not mix with this town. I would like to sell it and with the money from it, get something either in Rome. Like I'm not talking anything big. I'm talking like 50 feet, like a bed and a bathroom.
Okay. Let me just. Okay. Okay. I appreciate
or
that.
In the other town in Sicily that I like called. It starts with a C. It's called Cefalù.
Okay, I'm being more drawn to Sicily when you speak about it, but let me just give you a little information that I feel is coming through from him. I feel like he's talking about, I don't know if we're dealing with water issues, water elevation, water levels rising, something to that effect, and something about the foundation. Could there be potential, he's talking about, I would say possibly staying out of areas where water levels could elevate and compromise a foundation of a property, or looking at the properties you're going to be looking at. You need to be aware of something to do with water rising, elevating water levels, and foundation of property being compromised. So something around that, something around property foundation, the structural integrity of a property you're looking at to buy. I don't feel like he's talking about a concern on the property you're selling. I feel like he's talking about preemptively giving you information to look out for. There might be a property that, mom falls in love with and has to have it, but you have to be really critical and scrutinize the structural stability of whatever you're going to purchase. So that's the first thing I'm going to tell you around that. Talking about, and understand when we're connecting to the spiritual realm, they can see a more expansive view than we can. So things that may unfold 6 months from now, 10 months from now, a year from now. But the interesting thing around this, and I'm not sure I don't know how much the changing market is going to happen in Italy and in that area, but I almost feel as if he's talking about, like, if this is something that you're either going to need to look at, like, right now before the shifting real estate market in the U.S. starts to affect other areas of the world or other areas affecting us, and it compounds and trickles down, or you're looking at least like a 2-year holdout. So depending on what the personal situation is, I either think you need to really move quick and look at all the circumstances and assess it right now. And I mean, like, literally, like, the next 2 weeks, like literally this week, tomorrow, start jumping on it, researching it, at least start getting the connections and finding some of the people that you need to be connected to sell that property. And I just feel like he's also talking about, I don't know if there's a friend of the family that's involved in law. I don't know if there's a Leonard, a Leo, an L, or that's going to be a name to align with, but I feel like I'm getting I'm hearing it almost as Leonard or Leo, a Leonard, a Larry, something to the L effect.
Can I tell you?
Oh, if you know that, yeah, give me the name on it, because then they're giving me that's a
everybody calls my mother Lena, although that's not her real name, but that's what everybody calls her.
All right, so that's what they're okay. So they're just giving me a little. They're just acknowledging her and her name, and they're just giving me a piece of evidence to know they're truly connected. I think this is more so. Yeah. I think you need validation that your loved ones are around you and supporting you. So I don't know if, like, mom was a little skeptical or even just grieving, or this is a moment, I don't know if we're going near any kind of critical date of someone's passing or an anniversary or some type of remembrance that would bring up more grieving memories or something. But I feel like it's important for mom to know, not that you don't need to know, but I feel like this is more for her and they just want her to know she's supported. And her father, I feel like for her to know, like, whatever her decision is going to be, if there was concerns on selling the property, not selling the property, I do feel she does have, like, the family blessings to move on and sell that if that's what she needs to. If there was any concern around that, because I feel like it's just something I need to mention. I feel like he's talking about, I don't know, like, not hold on to it for, like, a sentimental reason, if financially, like, much gain can come from it, or her life can be simplified, and that, in the long run will give her a much happier existence. So something around that, I feel like simplifying is part of this process, but also, like, she shouldn't have any apprehension as far as releasing this property.
Right. Yeah, she has mentioned a few times, like, oh, my father gave me, it's like your roots and everything. I don't know what it is.
Okay, well then that's what this is more so about. That's what this connection right now is more so about. It's about her understanding that whatever is for her highest and best, Dad is going to support that. That's what they want to see. They want to see us live our highest and best here, not struggle or deal with adversity or whatever the problem are. They want to see this be the smoothest transition. So if there's a lot of concern around the property or keeping the property or the upkeep or maintenance or the distance traveled, whatever it may be, I think mom needs to know that Dad is completely okay with it, and it's whatever is going to be for her best interest. Wow. So she needs to hear that more so. But I do feel one of two things right now. I think you're either going to have to move very quickly at assessing this. I don't think jump to sell the property. Hey, this person offered us something. It's not the amount we wanted, and we're going to jump on it. Not necessarily that, but I do think you need to start putting something in motion right now, or you are going to be delayed at least like a 2-year span. That's what I sense around it.
Wow, interesting. And you think more so Sicily rather than Rome?
I'm just on an energy level, I'm being more drawn to Sicily as far as it being a more prosperous deal for you. So maybe you're going to find a better deal that will have a better resale value, or something is going to be, the valuation of a property is going to be better, so something like that. That's what I sense. There's like a better deal to be had in that area over Rome. And now understand, I'm not a real estate agent. I don't know I don't know anything about the different valuations of Italy or any of the properties. I'm just telling you on an energy level what comes to me around it. And I just see a better deal for you in Sicily as far as, I think, like, financially, a better bargain for the dollar in Sicily is what comes to me.
Right. Wow. Wow, you're just amazing. I all the detail you hit on is just astounding.
Well,
I'd like to add something. Add something.
Absolutely.
Okay, so what I sense is that you are deeply concerned. Your energy has been depleted. I have a visual of you peeking through the brush. It's like you're moving everything away and you see this paradise. And I'm hearing for you to protect your talents.
Wow. Wow.
So I guess it's going to come, and what your paradise is going to come. You're going to see it.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I said you're going to see it. You're going to see something through the brush. In other words, like it's a metaphor for what's coming forward for you. But I'm hearing for you to protect your talents, whatever that means.
Wow. Could it be my creativity? I do a lot of creative work.
Probably, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
and it's,
so your
wow,
energy is
okay.
depleted. I don't know if you are missing something, and there is a better choice.
Interesting in this situation, or maybe something work-wise.
No, I think it's what you're asking. But what
Okay.
what I'm trying to say is that sometimes when we are really head into one part of our lives, it's taking away from something else that we're supposed to be keeping whole. And don't lose that. Don't lose that part of yourself because something is pulling you so hard. I sense everything's going to work out beneficially. You don't have to try so hard, is what I'm trying to say, I guess.
I feel that. Yeah, that definitely, I can definitely take that. Yeah, because I think so much about this, I don't have time to think about other things. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So take a breath.
And that could be the sense of what I was getting of. It's something you either need to move soon on and kind of put the energy in motion around it, or it's going to be something that you're going to need to sit with for, what came to me about that 2-year span. So that's it. So this is something you're going to have to make some, a keen, decisive thought on, hey, do I really need to proceed with this? Is this the best option for us at this point in time, or do we wait it out? And I think just sit, truly tap into your intuition and see how you're guided, and don't take that for granted. Really sit and listen and see what your heart's truly calling you. What path is it? Do you feel now jump on that opportunity, try to get it listed, try to see what you can do, or, try to see what else unfolds, in the real estate world, in the economy, so I think you're going to have to sit with that, and you're just going to have to allow that intuitive calling to unfold. And I think you get the right answer, and I think you'll know. But again, what came to me is this is something very quick, decisive, or something that's going to be drawn out for some time.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for calling in.
Your
You both
paradise
are
is
truly
out there.
amazing.
Your paradise
I'm sorry?
is out there. You find it. You find the paradise. It's out there.
Thank you. Thank
Okay.
you.
Have a great night. Be well. Thanks for.
Thank
we hope
you.
You
Much love and
follow us.
Yes. Thank you. Thank
All right,
you
be
so
well.
much.
Thank you.
Okay,
God bless
bye-bye.
you both. Thank you.
All right,
Thank you.
bye. Okay, so you there, Michael?
Yeah, I'm good. That was just a little intense. It's funny because I'm not completely in the mediumship zone, but I'm not. So when I have spirit jump through, when they really need to get a message across, I love when they can give very evidential pieces of information. So we get right to the point, and here we go. We know exactly who's with us. So I just, again, I just want to thank her, so much for that validation and confirmation on her loved ones, her father stepping through.
She had great energy. I liked her energy.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay, so interestingly enough, I went through, and there's quite a few people holding, and I obviously, unless I'm going to bring them on, I don't get to until we're ready. And we have someone here who actually watches my podcast, And,
cool.
Well, not my videos, I should say, on YouTube. And I did a YouTube video the other day. Anyone who wants to watch it. And I talked about society crashing, basically, and I did a visualization and all that kind of stuff. But he's on hold, so we're gonna. And I don't know him. Like, I've never spoken to him. This is the first time. So here we're gonna bring him on right now. Okay, you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey, what's
Hi.
going on? Who do we have with us?
This is Rob.
What's up, Rob? How are you?
I'm very well,
Hello.
and yourself? Hi,
Yeah,
Mary.
doing good.
Hi, nice to talk to you. You've been watching my videos for I don't even know, over a year.
Yeah, I think it's like a couple of years, actually.
Yeah, maybe a
Nice.
couple of years.
Where are you calling in from, Rob?
I'm in San Diego right now.
Okay.
Normally I'm in Iowa, but
All right, cool. So we got someone on the other coast. Awesome. Very, very
Yeah.
cool. So it's always a pleasure hearing people call from around the country or around the world, and it's a beautiful thing. But what question did you have for us?
well, I was sort of curious. I made a comment last night on Mary's show about she was talking about past life regression, I believe, or past lives.
That's
And I was doing a meditation, and normally I've been doing that, I don't know, since I was a teenager, but the last time I tried, I had real difficulty meditating and getting into like a past life regression, and my spirit said, you need to knock that off. This is the life that matters, and you need to focus more on
Good.
this. And I was wondering, I was like, well, that's kind of an odd thing for to hear myself say.
Honestly,
And,
that is a fantastic thing to hear. That the funny thing about that is probably some of the most profound wisdom that your collective could have ever given you. And that's one thing that came to me. There was a period in time where I really was on this, like, I'll say this journey of trying to figure out, who was I? Why do I do the things I do? Why am I this way? Why did certain things in my life unfold the way they did? Is it because of a past life, creation that happened? Is it, like, I had all these questions. And the funny thing is exactly what came to you is in one of my deep meditations, I had the exact same thing happen to me. And that was told to me is regardless of what happens in any of your past lives, we're here in this life, in this body for a reason. So and this is for anyone out there. This is for you, anyone out there that has questions and concerns about, could this past life be affecting me in this life? Well, even if it is, I think you just answered it, that whatever is going on, and if something is trickled over from a past life, we can absolutely utilize it, correct it, perfect it, whatever, morph it into whatever it needs to be. But that's the opportunity we have in this life. We have the opportunity to, if there's anything in a past life that, we're here and we decided we needed a karmic experience to make a wrong right, or whatever variable that is, I think that is the opportunity we do have in this lifetime. And that's something, that when we can have that realization and you're being guided in that way from what I'm going to call your collective around you, they definitely have your back and they're definitely steering you in the right direction. Because that truly is what it is. Whatever happened in a past life, when we really look at it, it doesn't matter. I mean, maybe certain things, maybe you're super proficient on piano and maybe you have no idea why, and at a very young age that happened. Yeah, then maybe that trickled over from a past life, and could that give you a super big advantage in this life if you capitalize on that and you utilize it and you get back to that, and you learn and you grow with it? Absolutely. But if you're having, crazy bouts of depression and you're sucked into this, this realm of highs and lows and you can't get out of it, and, people that are sinking down and then, abusing food or sex or drugs or, whatever, alcohol, whatever it may be, and falling into this like low vibration state, and you're blaming it, wow, in a past life this must have happened to me, or I must have had this occurrence and I'm doomed to this. Well, that's completely negative, completely false. Anything that happened in a past life, I think it's just a learning experience, and we can utilize that as a valuable lesson. But in no way, shape, or form do I think that like a negative aspect of us that could have been a possibility in a past life will hold us down in this life. No, absolutely not. I think we can learn from it. We can utilize it. So let me ask you this. The interesting thing that comes to me in your energy field, and you talking about past lives, and I feel like there's a split. So I feel like you potentially could have a day job or something that you're utilizing that's very calculated. So I don't know if you're like designer, if you're like a software designer, you do something a lot with numbers, calculating, crunching, budgeting, something like that. Very, very analytical. And I see this a lot with people that are either like an accountant or a software designer. But I feel like there's this aspect of art and creativity, and it's design. This is like characters. This is like creating storyboards, storylines. But I almost feel like it's either something that you're put aside that you did for a while and you've decided to kind of get away from it, or you thought you outgrew it. But it's almost like there's this untapped artistic talent in you that you need to utilize. And I almost feel like for your I'm going to say your guides and, the realm that's around you to say, hey, it's this life that matters. I would say there's something big that you could harness that could be really powerful. And I feel like that's something that, like, in me, I'm feeling it as like an art, a creativity energy around you. So, and I see it in like the design. So I don't know what you can take from that, but if you can just share with me a little bit about what you're doing, what you want to do, past life things, give us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, I spent a career in the Army, and I kind of messed up toward the end. I wasn't as good at my job. I did bomb disposal and stuff, and kind of like I said, I wasn't very good at it. I got blown up a lot, and it kind of messed up my head. So then I went into as a contractor. I did a lot of analytic computer, like cybersecurity.
Okay, yeah.
Fall to the wall. That's all I did. Sit behind a computer all day, and I got burned out on that. And I just kind of reevaluated, and I was like, you know what? I can live on this amount of money and be good. So now I'm sitting on a beach, and I haven't been indoors in like 3 weeks. So I just watch the waves, and I've been doing that for a few years though. But just the other day, I was talking to a friend of mine, and he told me about this job opportunity with the San Diego theaters, and it's a union thing where you go in and it's all in the entertainment union. So it goes into like it's an apprenticeship, so you are learning.
That's really cool. I mean, that's what I'm seeing in your energy field. So this is big.
Yeah,
and that's exactly
lighting
unfolding. Yeah. There's a lot of positive energy around that for you. I would say my perspective and just reading the energy around this and just hearing it in your voice. I mean, I don't know if you realize this, but you just like lit up. Like your energy just lit up when you started talking about that and the production and the design, and it's it seems like there's a fire burning in you that wants to let loose some creativity. And I think this is your opportunity. I definitely feel like almost, I don't want to say a second chance, but a second opportunity, almost like a way for you to reinvent yourself. So that's what I sense around this. I do feel like there's a lot of artistic creativity that you can harness and you can bring to this job. And I do think there's aspects of it that you're not even seeing right now. This may be technical setup, stage production, calculating, planning, plotting the software, what's going to come up on screens. Whatever there is around this, there's a lot that could be expanded from it. So that's exactly what I saw with you. I saw like the numbers, the crunching, the analytics, the computer, the software design, like very calculating, very stuck into the process and procedure of that number aspect, and it's a shift away from exactly what I was seeing, that creative unfolding and like storylines and production and possible theatrics. So this is definitely a good shift for you. I think if you can find a way that, you can live in however comfortably you need to live, you can, whatever, as far as your financials can, you can pay your bills, your utilities, and you could do this. If it's an opportunity for you that you can grow into, I think it's a great opportunity for you. I do. Because I could just hear it in your voice. I could just hear that energy expand in you. So I do think you're being given an opportunity for a new creative outlet. And in that creative outlet, it's almost like it's an awakening for you and for your soul, like that artistic, creative soul that's in there, and it's just bursting to get out. Now, what are you sensing around that, Mary Amy?
So I received some positive, I guess you could say, some positive responses. And, I kind of go off into a different place when I hear a voice, and then I just receive visuals, and sometimes it's words, sometimes it's the most bizarre information, but I just relay it because I don't know what it means. So this is what I received about Bob. I received that he has the soul of a cheery old man. He's like an old soul. He's a traveler and adventurer in his heart. And what I saw was him roaming down this path, and there was this rose garden. And so a rose garden represents personal growth, and it holds power. And there's a lot of roses around you. So I sense that whatever's happening is for the best, I guess, the best outlook for you, the best part of your journey is really to come, and it's here now. That's what I'm receiving, and it holds a lot of power for you.
That's so funny to hear, because there's like this trellis that I've been sitting in front of this all day. There's like this gazebo, and it has rose bushes growing up all over it. And so my view is framed in roses. So
wow,
that's pretty wild.
Yeah, that's all I kept seeing. So there you go. So you're in the right place. That's validation. That's synchronicity.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
And
and there was a boat. There was a boat that went by, and it was the Wisdom Line. So yeah, that was pretty wild too.
That's crazy.
That is cool. God, that's cool. That's good. So, and just I want to share just one little thing that came to me as Mary Amy was bringing her message through. Is just you need to give yourself grace. And I don't know why that came over me, why I felt like I need to share that with you. But what I would say is I think maybe you're a perfectionist, or maybe you're a lot harder on yourself. And that could be the military background. I mean, you probably pushed yourself. You were, obviously in circumstances were pushed more, in that type of circumstance than any other situation. So I feel like you need to give yourself grace. So that may be, you don't, in this new endeavor, this new transition, finding this new creative outlet, it doesn't need to be 100%. And I feel like you're very high functioning, and I feel like, there's a lot of intelligence, but that intelligence can sometimes we get so manipulated by our mind and our ego, and to try to get it perfect at first, that sometimes that fear of failure stops us. And that's what I just want to share with you. I just have a sense that you need to give yourself grace and allow your 80% to be put out there, because it's almost as if your 80% is going to be someone else's 100%. You know what I mean? I just get that. That's how much of a there's a lot of perfectionist energy, and that you're definitely striving for a certain standard, and that's good. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But if that certain standard,
like the third time I've heard that this week.
Well, there you go. This is your confirmation then.
Right?
Be okay with it not being perfect, and that's give yourself grace. Be okay with it not being perfect, because just in the process of you putting it out there, you're going to grow and you're going to learn so much more about yourself that you'll be looking back at this conversation we're having right now a year from now, and you're just going to be amazed at the shift and I think the new transformation you've had in your life.
All right. Well, thank you, Michael. Thank you, Barry.
Thank you, Rob. Appreciate it. Thank you so much for calling in.
And you already have done it. You just have to catch up to it.
Yeah.
That's how powerful your mind is. Your mind and spirit. You've already done it. You just have to catch up. And it was great talking to you. Thanks for calling in.
Yeah, you also. Thank you. Yeah.
Nice to
Thank you.
meet you.
Yes, you too.
All right. Be well.
You also.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, this is a very interesting evening, isn't it, Michael?
It is. It's taking many twists and turns, but they all seem to end up in the same spot, and it's good. It's a good spot.
Okay, would you like to take one more caller?
Yeah, you have the clock. You know the time, so I'll let you make the call. If we
know,
have enough time, let's do it.
Yeah, we have enough time to do one more. We have somebody that's been holding, and, you know, I don't know. I'm so grateful to everyone out there, our listeners, and I appreciate you holding, and sometimes calls drop and you don't know what's going on when I put you on hold, and it's going to be silent, so appreciate your patience. All right, so I have someone here holding that's been holding over 27 minutes, so I'm going to pull them on. Let's see who it is. I don't know. I think it's actually a New York, or no, a New Jersey number. Let's see. Hopefully it's not someone we've already spoken to. Hello, who's calling? Hello? Hi, you there? I know there's somebody. Are you? Hello, hi.
That person
Hello?
may be gone.
I'm here. I'm
hi.
here. I'm sorry.
Who's with us?
Have you called in
This is
before?
Jackie. No, I haven't.
Hi, Jackie.
Yeah, and I'm sorry
Michael.
you are. Yeah, I had you on mute, and then I had to put in my code back in my phone. I'm sorry.
No
It's all
worries.
good.
Well, I'm
It's
so
all
glad
good.
we
You're
got
here with us.
through. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Was resting.
Where are you calling in from, Jackie?
From New Jersey.
Oh, fellow New Jerseyan. All right. And
Oh, you're in
what
New
question do
Jersey
you
as
have for
well?
us? Yes, I am in New Jersey too.
Okay, that's good. That's great.
So what question did you have for us?
I'm trying to move forward in my life, and today's my mother's birthday, although she's on the other side. Both my parents are on the other side, and I'm really trying to carry on their legacy, but sometimes feeling like I'm just going in circles. And today's her birthday. I was just hoping that maybe I could get some insight on how to push forward through some things that just kind of seem stagnant or problematic at times.
Okay, so you just sit with the energy again. If you can just give me your first name slow and just say that again, and I'm going to connect to the energy field around you through that. Jackie. Okay, Jackie.
Mm-hmm.
The interesting thing, Jackie.
But my parents called me Annie.
Annie?
Yeah.
Well, so let me just share a
different.
little bit about what's coming to me just around your energy field.
Mm-hmm.
So now, okay, so let me just see where I'm. Now, I don't know why. So I got a couple interesting things. Did you or Mom have a smaller little dog, like I want to say like a little poodle or like a little shaggier kind of poodle, darker looking dog?
I have a Maltese Cooper. She's with my son at this moment.
You have
You're talking about a darker?
Yeah, really, like a darker, smaller dog that's coming through that almost looks like a poodle, but I almost feel like there's a dog coming through around you that would be in spirit that's coming through with Mom. Does that make sense? Is there a dog in spirit that would be around you?
Yeah. I've had several dogs, and my mom loved dogs.
Was there a poodle, like a darker one, like a solid, like a more solid, like a dark brown or solid black dog? That's like I don't know why I'm getting.
My mom used to have this Chihuahua that was black.
Was he really loud and yappy and like I don't? There's
oh
like
my
literally.
God. He was a terror.
Okay, so let me. It's interesting on your energy field. That definitely I have a heavy mediumship connection to your energy field. There's a lot of love. So let me ask you, how personal can we go? If information's coming through for you.
Very, please. I mean,
okay, and if you're not
yeah.
comfortable with something that's coming through, just let me know. And so I have a couple things coming through. I don't know why. 1982. I don't know if there's significance to the year 1982, but I'm pretty sure I'm being drawn to 1982 or 82 if someone had passed at 82 years of age. And I could also be going for August 2nd or August and February. But 1982. Is there any significance that you're aware of to the year of 1982?
London, I don't know if that has
and
something
if it's not just
to do
write it
with
down, I'd be curious if it's like a birthday and anniversary. Now with mom's energy, so what's interesting, I also sense around mom, there's definitely older male energy. So I feel like there's also grandfather. Now with mom, was there a stepfather or was there a father that was separated or distant from you? Was there like a second? Was there two fathers?
No, but like after my mom died, people were questioning or made comments whether I was actually my father's child, although I was named after his mother.
Okay,
I don't know.
Okay, so that's what I think she could
they,
be talking about.
They were trying to raise suspicion because they didn't want me to, be entitled to things. It didn't make any sense. I had a brother that was
I'm getting like a weird mix of that, like two fathers, or there was question around two fathers, or a stepfather, or something like that. Just know the energy around that. It's really so whoever's questioning that, like I do feel as if this is coming from mom's energy. So I don't know other family. Now, is there a brother you're separated from right now, or not talking to, or like is there?
Yeah.
I'm getting brother that you're not talking to. She's talking about. That's correct.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and there was dispute around, I don't know if this is property she had, who was going to get a certain amount of property or accounts or something, that basically dispute around inheritance, around the will, around something not, was there not a will or paperwork was missing or something to the effect of something not signed?
Yes.
Okay, because that's what she's talking about. Like she's apologizing about the mistakes of either the missing paperwork or paperwork not being signed, that created some kind of discrepancy now in like the allocation of assets or how things were going to be divided, something to that effect. I'm being drawn. Okay, so I'm also seeing the month of March. Is there significant litigation or something coming up in March?
Well, I'm trying to settle everything because I'm actually working on my mother's house. I've been paying taxes on my mother's house. I want to move in my mother's house. It took me years just to even get access to my mother's house. Was it out of arrears? If not, they were going to lose it. And I maintain it, and I'm hoping to just settle it, because they took everything else that they were able to take and sold off properties.
Okay. So that's what she's talking about then here. So I would say it's going to be very significant in order, like for you, just make sure all paperwork. So I don't know if you haven't gotten the right legal advice or the right legal team or the right like property attorney or someone to look this over. let me just sit with this for. Is there a Glenn or a Roger? Glenn, Roger? Is that for some reason I'm hearing like the R, like a Roger? I feel like I'm hearing Glenn.
There's a Roger.
Roger.
There's
okay.
a Roger.
Okay.
A Roger.
So they're definitely giving me the Roger name. What is the connection to the Roger in regard to this circumstance?
I have another brother named Roger. Roderick.
Ah, okay. All right. So that's what I'm hearing. But is he kind of, you're aligned with, you're talking with him, everything is okay with him? Like what's the...
I talk to him every so often. He knows that I've been doing everything that I could do. Just no one else would do anything.
Yeah. So that's what. So they're acknowledging.
But
so
he
just
could be a little shady here and there. But
but that's okay. But I'm
seeing
that name as like a positive affiliation though. So I think at least he has your back around this circumstance. I do think, unfortunately, like what I understand. You know, I'm a medium. I'm not a lawyer. I can't give legal advice. I'm just telling you what I sense around this and what I feel like is for your highest and best. I can tell you with the significance of your mom giving me information around this and this topic, and obviously it being her birthday, I think, first off, you need to give yourself a little time to grieve and process some of this. I think there's a lot on your shoulders. You're trying to navigate a lot, and I think you're also trying to hold back a lot of the pain. I think you need to sit with this a little bit. I think you need to understand. I think mom is giving us some confirmations tonight that she's around you. She wants you to know that she's supporting you. And I do believe she's supporting this decision that you've made of keeping the house, trying to make good on whatever it needs to be done around holding the house, taxes, upkeep of the property, whatever whatever's going on around that. Just know I do believe she is honoring you by you carrying yourself in the way you are. I do think she is proud of that. I don't necessarily know if she said these things while she was here. I think she might have been a little more standoffish, maybe not as emotional as she could have been, and was like a pretty strong lady and carried herself in a very certain way. So I don't think her emotions always showed. But I think it's important for you to know now that her energy is absolutely with you, even though she isn't here in the physical. Just know her love and her guidance can still be connected to, and you absolutely can do that. I just think the things we're talking about here, the psychic awareness, expanding this energy world that's around us, and utilizing our intuition to help guide us, absolutely something you need to do. You're going to have to sit in a quiet space or with some music, something that'll put you in the zone, something that's going to pull you out of this. You're in a very there's a lot of chaotic stress around you. It's in your energy field, and you're caught up in it. And I think it's going to be very hard for you to make the absolute best decision you can for yourself while you're caught up in this chaotic energy. So you need to do something, whether this is music, whether this is walking, whether this is just getting out of your environment, going somewhere else temporarily, even if it's like a coffee shop or reading a book, whatever it is, walking, listening to some of your favorite music. And I think in those moments, you're going to start to see glimpses of your connection to your mom. And when you're speaking to her, ask her, hey, give me a sign, and look and see what shows up. Now, I'm seeing red. I don't know if this is red rose, red cardinal. Color red is very prominent around your mom, and I feel like I'm seeing like red roses. So I don't know if that was very big for you and her, or a flower or a symbol, the red rose.
I actually used to plant a lot of roses at my mother's house. Like I gave her a rose garden, and I always pruned the roses.
Okay, she's acknowledging that. She's acknowledging that connection, and I think she's honoring that. I want to say she's honoring that loving energy that you had shown her by planting those and caring and helping, her do those aspects of, embracing nature and, letting go and trying to, smell the roses. That's what I feel like she's saying. You need to tell her she needs to slow down and she needs to smell the roses. So I think you're very caught up in a lot of the family dysfunction, and that can draw you in, and it can be very tough. I work
in a very chaotic environment as well too.
So it's important for you to do something to gain a little bit of peace, get a little bit of that peace back. Just give yourself, a little bit here and there, and that's going to slowly expand. But I do believe you have mom's blessings in approaching things how you're approaching them. But I do believe you're going to have to get some kind of legal representation to look and help guide you, someone that's very good as far as, litigation around property, around estates, around real estate, and just see if you can, get a free consultation and just talk to some people about it if you haven't already.
I do have an attorney that I have to get back to with some information. I need time to just sit down and gather all my paperwork. And
so do it. You need to make time. It's very you don't want to let this opportunity pass you by, because I do think time is of the essence around this. I do think if it's something you act quickly on and you can get it all sorted out, and from a legal standpoint, everything can get authorized that it's legally in your name, you legally have the property, and now you're responsible for it, I think that's all that matters. I don't think you, at this point, should worry. I know you want the connection with your brother to resume and that separation around that, but I think right now what I'm sensing and what I feel mom is imprinting on me is you need to do you. You need to do what's good for you at this moment in time. Otherwise, I think the property could end up lost, or if you get in a back and forth battle over it, or something happens and the state steps in, or there's, just other hands that want to be greased and other people that want to make money off this, it could turn into just a nightmare of a headache for you. So I think if you can approach it right now quickly and have the proper legal team around you that's guiding you with the proper information, I think you can navigate this. You'll get the property free and clear, and it's basically going to be you've done good by your mom. You've tried to manage this property as best as possible. So I do think as long as you move quickly and swiftly around this with the proper legal team, you will prevail, and the property will, so if there's any question about will it be completely yours, will it be written, and turned over to you, I do see that.
Because if I didn't do what I did, the property would have been gone. Like what was there before, they sold it. I had to go to court to actually gain access to this property, and I had to pull it out of back taxes and
so just
everything.
Get that legal team now. Get the right person. Even if you have to interview 2 or 3 or 4 people, even if you have to get a referral, and just find that person that can help guide you, and you'll know. Use your intuition. Just see if you resonate with their character, their personality. Look at you can't always go by all the reviews, and there could be fake reviews and different things like that, but sit with your intuition and see where it guides you around who is the right person for you. If you feel
when I'm there, when I get a chance to go there and spend time and I'm outside cleaning, that's when I really hear from her. I actually hear from both of them. I feel their energy when I'm there doing things. I actually have somebody working there now.
So sit with that.
And when I'm there, I'm able to.
Okay, we have just 5 minutes left. We just have 5 minutes left.
So you have your contact information for in New Jersey, correct?
Yes. Yeah, if you go to Eye of the Spirits with Michael Edley on Facebook or michaeledley.com, message me. If you wanted to set up a private appointment or something, we could definitely get more into this, and we could try to pull more information through around if you want.
I just want to add one thing. Can you hear me, Jackie? I want to add one thing.
Yeah, yes, I can.
Okay, because I just want to add this before we get cut off, because it's going to shut down in 5 minutes. I received that you should make a wish, reach up to the clouds, and if you're feeling alone right now, you are not. You are surrounded by love, many gifts of love, and remind yourself to keep the love within you.
Thank you so much, because sometimes it just don't feel like it.
I know, but it's there. So make a wish. Before you go to sleep tonight, make a wish. Be very clear on it. Try to visualize it. Try to imagine it right in front of you. Whatever it is that you want, you can manifest. Okay?
Just remember that rose. Remember that red rose that Mom was showing me. I think that's going to be your sign from her. Look for that red rose.
Okay, our information you can find about Michael is michaeledley.com. You can find him there and reach out to him if you want. And We want good things for you, and have a wonderful evening.
Thank you, Jackie.
Thank you, and I'm going to check
you
out
so
your
much.
podcast on YouTube. Thank you so much. Man.
Wait, what? Oh, thank you.
I actually was looking at your YouTube, but it was showing an older show, so I'm going to have to subscribe to the channel.
Oh,
Thank
thanks.
you. I appreciate you both.
All right, you're awesome. Be well, Jackie.
Right. Good luck
Bye.
with everything, Jackie.
Thank you.
Okay, so we just have a few minutes and we're going to get cut off, and I am so grateful for this evening. I had a wonderful evening with you, Michael, and all of our listeners and the callers that came through, and I want to remind everybody that we'll be back next week. If you follow Mary Amy Intuitive on this site, there will be notifications, and we will be on again next week, either Thursday or Friday. And we are going to be back on the 7th and the 22nd with guests in March.
Woo-wee. We got some big plans. We got some big shows. So I hope you all listen in. But thank you, everyone, so much for listening and hanging with us tonight. We appreciate it more than you know. And looking forward to our next episode. It's going to be fun.
Yes, and let's remind ourselves to write down our sleeping dreams, and you too can have a DNA activation and an awakening, and maybe you can do that through sound healing or spending time in nature, meditation, and it will change your life exponentially. And I wish everyone well, and thank you so much, and I hope you follow us.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Okay, good night, everyone. Bye.